The time is 12:38 p.m. Eastern, August 28th, year 2024. So I was just attacked? I would think I was, but this one's hard to tell. I think I just came into the contamination of it. It's really sick chemical gas, and it affects my intestines, deep in my intestines. And the pain threshold is 3 and then 4 until it's finally gone. They used it 3 times. Once while I was playing AC/DC, I put them all up. I played one more AC/DC. I'll put it up. I took the time on the thing. Perfect. I played one more AC/DC song that I have loved since I was 16 years old. That album, that song, all of it. Okay, but the point is, that's a really good album for people who like to talk about AC/DC. It's one of their first albums. Okay. So you can see that I don't get sick. I don't catch cancer. I don't react to this chemical gas like other people do. No, it's so amazing. I would really be sad if I do leave here after going to court with Muslim terrorists, destitute, and nobody ever wanted to find out how I did that. I would be. I'm at the point where I've accepted that I'm more than likely well. No one will ever ask me about how I did that here. They'll ever give me any credit for what I did here or even acknowledge that I was ever even in here. I don't mean to be mean to the good military, but their absence clearly says they can't. The Muslim terrorists who run the courthouse that I'm going to go to for civil proceedings, the police that keep trying to arrest me, and the fire department that have kicked my door in multiple times, that run the departments writ large in the jurisdiction of D.C., Washington, D.C., that obviously control the White House, giving the entire country of Afghanistan to the Taliban, and our military equipment, all our bases to the Taliban. These Muslim terrorists dictate everything that's coming out with their white nationalist partners. Those white men that I was talking about, they're bashing my floor and say the N-word with utter vitriol. Like, you don't want to hear people talk like I say wrong. You don't want to hear people talk about other humans like that. You can hear the hate in their minds. They don't have a soul. They don't have a heart. The hatred is in their brains, and their brain being a vacant psyche, a vacant human without any ability to have a consciousness, a guilt. They're not capable of empathy or guilt. Their brain with that hate only causes them to carry out acts of violence. Those are the people who are doing this weird, horrifying crap under my floor that I reported yesterday. Those are those white men. They're in the U.S. military and in law enforcement. They are partners with, best of friends with the Muslim terrorists that dictate everything that's coming out of the White House and the civil and city courts, plus federal courts up to Supreme Court. That is why I say that all the justices, when the time comes, are arrested. They tried to attack through sedition and insurrection our Constitution. Whoever does take over this government had to rewrite the Constitution because of the Muslim terrorists and the white supremacists. That is who I am talking about, who's using this gas. This chemical gas is their theme music. Okay, so while I was playing the one last AC/DC song, and before that, about 10 minutes before I went on the internet and announced how you guys are going to lose all your Wi-Fi and your internet in the West, you definitely will. You need to brace for that. Like, I won't be able to post AC/DC, but I'll be super happy that it's happening. You'll be guaranteed Heidi's going to be so happy that day, whenever that day comes. I'll be in here jumping around. If I'm not in here and I'm by myself, secluded and isolated after my kangaroo court with ISIS terrorists persecuting me, and I leave the ISIS terrorist compound and I go sit by myself, destitute, in utter poverty, in some room in another crack house because I can't get anyone else to rent to me. No one will rent to me. No one will give me a job. I just wander around alone, unable to talk, saying I. So whenever that day comes that you guys lose your Wi-Fi and your internet here in the West, I will be I'm being up and down. I will have a RTEE. No more posting ACDC from me. That's fine. Whoever does that cuts off their internet and their freaking Twitter. I worship the ground you walk on. Okay, so while that was happening, but on serious matters, while I was posting the ACDC, and the reason why I said you're going to lose your Wi-Fi in the West, they used this chemical weapon, this chemical gas. I don't know if I was in contact or if it was at me, because I came through my bathroom again, that route. Where else did I go? The bathroom, the hallway, and the extra room into this final room where I sit, and I'm usually targeted, my main room. So while I was in my extra room is when I noticed it. I buckled over in the most extreme, excruciating pain. I mean this by definition. This stuff is bad news. And it was deep, deep in my intestines. That's how it affects my body. I do not believe this smorgasbord of different chemical gases is intended to make people go diarrhea. I have not witnessed that. I have witnessed dead bodies in this house after I was running around going diarrhea after the chemical gas. That's what I've witnessed every time. And I'm still up reporting, complaining about the diarrhea and chatting about ACDC afterwards. That's all that ever happens here, okay? We've done this so many times, nobody's wondering that. All right, so then they used it again while I was playing ACDC. The pain, this deep, oh my God, and I'm buckled over in my chair, and I'm like, what is this? This stuff's nasty. This is different. This has got to be a different chemical gas. Oh, it was pain. And then you know who pulled out? And I'm supposed to report it. I was supposed to try to film him, but he got away from me too fast. You know who pulled out? The closet case. He's homosexual. He's one of the military men that has sex with transvestites. He's homosexual, closet case. I'm not going after homosexual men, but I'm not going to keep lies and secrets for men who are so perverted and violent that they do the sickest, most dangerous perversion. No. You can't have these kind of people. These kind of people I'm describing that have abnormal sex because they're closet cases, because they're not really gay. They're so deeply disturbed. And then they're getting prostitutes who are men, that dress like women. They're so deeply disturbed. These kind of men are very prone to violence. Every one of those kind of men, 90% of the time, starts touching little kids or does really, really, really violent acts against women that involve rape. And you'll find them in the prison system. And honestly, those kind of men just need to be executed. You'll find them in the prison system. The men that raped kids and women, brutally, just rape and kill them. That's the kind of stuff they were doing, that kind of perversion, when they were loose on the streets. And this is this commonplace here. It's all over in our cooping military. The military that's with Trump and the military that's with Biden. The reservists, so on and so forth. They put it in the newspapers. It's a serial killer. They like to announce they're famous. Son of Sam. He loved being famous. He kept killing brunettes because he was so famous. It was part of what drove him to keep going out and blasting with his gun all these brunettes. All right, so That guy, the homosexual closet case man from Albanian mob, right during the second chemical gas attack inside of 1509, had the audacity and has the luxury to go out into his luxury car. He has a BMW, drive on out and go down the city streets. And you know where this guy goes? He's almost 90% of the time he cruises past the White House. He drives past the White House. When you want to go past the White House from this terrace cell, you turn on 16th. So he goes down the alley to 16th and he takes a left and he cruises past the White House. So that's what's happening, and I am to report that. And this is why the West loses their Wi-Fi, they lose all their internet, they lose all their telephones. You won't be able to call nobody, none of it. No fun for any of you. No, you all deserve it. You all deserve it. I would be having a party wherever I am. And the fact that I am going to court proceedings with ISIS terrorists who use this kind of gas is not a laughing matter. All right, bye.